Right, let's get this started in here. Season 10. It's the playoffs, lads. Final 16 teams, and here we are. Game number 4. And this is where it's going to get all crazy, isn't it? So, well, here we are. It's the Ogres. They qualified out of the Hooligan division, and look what they ran smack into. It's a bunch of, scum-sucking Chorfs. Well, what do you expect was going to happen? Well, that's the caliber we have to deal with here. That's the match we've got, and we're going to have to deal with it. So let's get this started in here. And of course, you can see, well, he's got the shields up. He doesn't want to have any kind of weather around here. Well, that's a pity, but it would be great.
This town needs an enema.
Well, that's what we're going to have to deal with. Ball comes down. It's almost practically a touchback, so let's turn this around here. So, Ogres, finally, for the first time since the first bloody game of the season, have actually shown up with a full complement. But he's got nothing else. But he's got a full complement. So that's a good start anyway. Alright, solid punchings in the front. And down goes a pathetic dwarf. And we get started here. There's another good solid punch. Down he goes. Of course, that's always the problem with dwarfs. Too much fucking armor. Now, you can see the Chaos Dwarves in this case here decided not only have they got the sucking fame because, well, they're in their home stadium, but they've even gotten invested in a wizard. So far, nothing spectacular has happened on behalf of the Ogres here. They're just taking their sweet time. This lad's moving into a better position. And who knows, he might be deciding on the traditional ogre carry with an ogre cage. Well, he's seen in the last 2 games that works surprisingly well. And the lad does succeed in getting the ball, and that's about it for that little start. Okay, here we go. Chorfs, as you can see, they don't have come in with quite the complement here, including they do have not one, but all 6 of the sucking dwarves, both bull centaurs, and of course 4 hobgoblins. Again, as has been mentioned many times, it's still considered by many that the Chorfs are a still broken team. But because of the influence from the European coaches, the only thing that's ever been adjusted to them is increasing the rerolls higher and never fixing the hobgoblins. Someday they'll get to it. They keep promising that. But we're stuck with it as it is, so we'll just carry on. Well, there's a great little sense of fair play.
Looks like you're fucked.
And he's had to use the apothecary already turn 1. And I gotta admit, the Ogres are not too impressed by that. Turn 1, already an apothecary? It's not really that good, is it now? So now they're going to have to stop manoeuvring in and actually, do something with this football here. There's the quick handoff. Easily makes it. And here come the rest of the lads. Marching up the field. And where's this lad going? And here it goes. There's the crazy play. And he's off. And he's good. And there he goes. And is he going to go any further? Yes, there's the 1. And there's the 2. Absolutely grand. It's an early start. Alright, well, that's basically going to be the start up there. That's what he feels about with that early fouling going on. Kind of makes you wonder, why do you buy a wizard? If that's your style, you should have bought a bribe. Done you a lot better, but you know what? I'm not that coach. I have dignity. So, carrying on here, the Ogres back up in the full setup here. And of course, support all the snotlings back on the side here. looking up all the skills there. They've decided to save the 2 truly skilled Snotlings. It's the basic expendables. As for the Chorfs team here, you can see it's quite a phenomenal stack of God. And of course, he's got a few of the Hobgoblins. 4 Centaurs. He's got the God, 1 with Break Tackle, 1 with Plain Old Tackle and Mighty Blow. And then, of course, he's got the Wrestle. And, of course, this is the scum-sucking vermin that, Constable Ed's going to have to take out in the back and have shot. Fortunately, I don't think Constable Ed's watching this game. He's a bit busy this week, as you've heard, as he's had to cast not just 1, but 4 bloody games almost in a row, and he can't be everywhere, so I think Williams is going to have to take care of this one. And Williams is well known for being 5 eyes. That's how many glasses he has to wear. Alright, let's see what the Ogres can actually do this time. And it's a blitz. That's going to help.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
And now, do the Ogres do what they really should do? Because, let's face it, I'm going to pause this up because this is where you look at the Ogres and go, okay, so you have a blitz. Guess what you really should do just to drive him crazy? Now, admittedly, it's probably going to get killed off pretty quickly on a 3-die block, but you never know. Howitzer a player down the field, put him under the ball, see what happens. No, seriously. And he's done exactly that. Unfortunately, well, he's crashed the landing. Sigh.
This is wrong. This is all wrong.
I don't blame him. But there's a brilliant and solid block. Down he goes. And the Fleabag, unfortunately, as well. A skull as thick as the bloody rulebook. And he manages to survive there. As for the rest of the Ogre team here, well, they're going to have to bring themselves up and see if they can pour some more early pressure in here. And it looks like that is exactly what they're going to try and do here. And now, surprisingly, Snotlinger 2 back here for the reserve screen. Surprised he didn't bring at least 1 around this way, because it would have at least forced the Dwarves to have to think about another available player. Anyway, frontline smash. And frontline...
Oh, that's gonna hurt!
Well, it's a KO, but what do you expect? It's a Snotling. 2 dice. Oh dear, that one goes horribly wrong. That's just great. That's terrible.
Wasted.
And, well, that's a terrible shame there. There you go, second Ogre. This shows you how bloody lucky already on the first swings he's getting. Cracks a 10 and cracks a 10. Where was this on the bloody foul? Well, here we are. Push me, push you. Easily picks up the ball. And it looks like he's going to tuck this away here because, well, we all know, he's as courageous as anything. He's a hobgoblin. Of course, that isn't the true thing. And now here we go. Charging block there. Does, of course, get the solid hit. And down goes the poor brave lad. So, what are your options here if you're the Ogre team? Let's really look at here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, push, push. Well, you can mark the poor bastard. He does have dodge. Certainly give him problems. But, yeah, more's the shame. If that Snotling had actually landed, could have been a rather interesting thing. And, of course, unfortunately, well, he's breaking armor very early this game. Good, solid hit. And he finally got that one.
I'll rip your head off and shit down your neck.
And now he's decided, well, let's actually see if he can get a second one. Now, there's a good solid hit. Well done.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Yeah, and he saw that. He's gone all the way to mark him up just to give more problems. Now, there's only a way you can mark this little bastard up. Well, technically there's a way you can mark them up.
I've got balls of steel.
Well, there's still something alright, and there's a good use of a snotling. Clears another one of the foul hobgoblins off the field. There's a solid punch down, doesn't follow up, because the dwarves can do their own bloody work. Well, here we are, turn 3. And the Chorfs decide, well, I'm going to have to go back to work on this one. As the Ogres decided to make this a complete and utter scatter. One die block, looks out once more. Gets the solid hit. Meanwhile, up there, as you can see, one die block again looks out. Here we go, red dice again looks out. And by this point here, I can see when the Ogre coach is starting to get frustrated. Chorfs are weighing. The Chorfs are swinging way above their weight so far with their block dice. Finally, though, let's give it credit here. First bonehead for the Ogres. Can they do something about this? Well, there's options. There's definitely options here. Let's see what they decide to do about it. Here we go. 2-die blitz. Down the center. Does get the Chorf. And looks like he's going to plow his way through.
We're on a mission from God.
Decides to mark this one up here. Instead of continuing on through to keep all the pressure on. But you know what? I guess he doesn't like that many possible go for it. Would have been an interesting thought, though, if he'd actually marked this one up to cause more problems. Would have been better if he'd actually stood up. Get. Here come the rest of the Snotlings. Alright. Why is he not going anywhere? No, seriously, why is he not going anywhere? Or did he just simply run out of time meeting the ticking clock? Well, Chorfs get a break, if they've been getting too many breaks so far, and they're off marching down the field with the ball. And here we go. 3-die blitz, no surprise on that one there.
Get back to work, you slacker.
Down he goes. And he does have to re-roll his break tackle. Now, yeah, good question for you. You're looking at the dice down below here. This is what's going to pan down here. Of course, he fails that one here because when it does calculate, this is a flaw of the game code. Break tackle, which means he uses his strength as opposed to his agility when he's making the dodge. Problem is, when he actually naturally rolls it, it always looks at the original, what the stat line is. 4, he rolled a 1, it's a failure, re-roll. It says it's a failure, but again, it's not doing it correctly. States realize, you saw that he only made the 1 re-roll. This is the flaw they have in the code. So somehow he's managed to do 2 3s, when the reality is he should have only rolled that once. Yes, it's a flaw. It's a bug in the array, but they can't deal with the fact that break tackle only goes once per turn. Shame, isn't it? And again, Chorfs look out again on a 2-die red. And for those of you counting at home, yes, he's gotten away with every either 1 or 2-die red this game. So yes, substantially swinging above his throw weight. That's one way of phrasing it anyway. Makes you wonder why he bought the wizard. It's not like he needs it. Not with his luck. Well, the Ogres, they frankly have got to do the best they can. Brilliant use of the break tackle, gets away with it. And now he's going to try and stop this one up. 2 dice, it's only a push. Ordering those re-rolls for the final 3 turns, isn't he? And he moves them further back just to keep the bastard honest. Decides to move the 1 Ogre here to keep these 2 players pinned out of the game. And of course the Ogre rolls a 1. No surprise. But as you can see there, it's a good thing his arm is nigh invulnerable.
The Emperor is not as forgiving as I am.
Well, here they come, a little further down the line. And here it goes. Once again, the Bull Centaur charging forward. This time with 2 dice. Aye, look, it's a miracle. It bloody fails for a change. And so far, Chorfs are having things go our way. Ow, look, a 2 red dice block again goes their way. Finally, 1 fails. Yes, the odds of it failing is 1 in 3. For Skulls, for you keeping track, he went well past that till he finally failed one. But, as Jervis says, that's Blood Bowl for you. Sometimes you just can't get around how crazy the dice go. But the Ogres, let's give them credit. They almost seem to be a team that relies on dice being crazy, one way or the other way. It's the nature of the team, isn't it, lads? So, carrying on. He is trying to charge players back on. Of course he boneheads back here. So, has to re-roll the bonehead. Does make the designated blitz, but now he's had to change his mind. Now he's doing it. Makes the break tackle of all things. And tragically, it's only a push. And meanwhile, looking all the way back here, 2 dice only gets a push. Boy, you would have loved getting rid of that one. Now the Chorfs decide they're going to use the blitz here. To, of course, try and now thin the numbers one more time. And it epically fails. Well, it tells you the dice are all going one way. Now and then he's had these beautiful hits, and he can't even break Snotling armor. And here we go, 1 dice, and yes, here the nods from me. It once again sucking works.
Wasted.
And well, that's very unfortunate there, but like I said, this is the way the dice are falling on this game. And here goes the Hobgoblin, and he decides to stick that one in there. Well, we can hear what the fans really think about that little lad, and we're going to carry it on here. And of course, all 3 KOs come back with no help. Let's see if the Ogres can actually get the same kind of luck. No, of course not. Alright, let's turn this back around here. Now, this is where it gets fun. He scored it in, but the Ogres now have 2 turns, and you know how much capability this team has really got. But the tragedy is, Ogres are down 2 players. Good solid kick, and it's even a free move. That is an excellent result, especially for the Ogre team. Gives them a much better chance of actually getting this ball and getting it up there for a bit of an howitzer. Because they do at least have 1 Snotling move. 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go, go. Or maybe even a slight adjustment. And they can howitzer Snotling way down the field. Except for that bounce. That bounce didn't work out too well, did it? Oh, well, here we go. Once again, Ogres getting back to work. Well, there's another bonehead. I will note that's one thing that has been going the Ogres' way. They're not boneheading anywhere near as much as they had in the other game. That's not much satisfaction for the coach, but it is that. So, slight readjustment of where the Snotling's going to be. What's he doing up there? Well, and he puts another one up for it. Well, that's just inviting targets. And he moves the other Snotlings up in here. And let's see how crazy this actually gets. Moves the other one. And now, here comes the blitz. This one actually works. Ah, it's 2 dice. And of course, it's only a stun. Well, you gotta admit, Chorfs have that thicker than hell bloody armor. Does get the ball, but now here's the real question. Where you going, lad? That's an interesting decision while he waits there. As a massive lightning bolt clobbers the poor defenseless snotling, but look, guess what happens? He's only stunned. Well, that's pretty crazy right there. Basically, he's now trying to make his life as difficult as possible here for that one-turn play. If it hadn't been for that crazy bounce away of the ball, we wouldn't be having that lightning bolt conversation. That player's already down the field. And now you can see, once again, here comes the salt from the Ogres.
You are physically repulsive, intellectually retarded, you're morally reprehensible, vulgar, insensitive, selfish, stupid. You have no taste, a lousy sense of humor, and you smell.
Couldn't give it myself any better, Constable Williams. Good call on that one. Well, the Ogres now have to make a minor adjustment on the play. Of course, the blitz boneheads. Nice timing, because he's having to save the reroll for outing the ball. The worst part is he's got 2 rerolls. He wishes he could hand over another one. So now he has to do a handoff in a tackle zone. Does make it. And now here comes the bloody miracle. Sigh.
This is wrong. This is all wrong.
And well, what do you do? Crashes the landing. And down goes the poor lad. Is there any way he could have gotten out of that actually better? That's a hell of a question, isn't it? Because that's the shame he has to do. He has to re-roll to throw the teammate. Yeah, that's the tragedy of it. He has to re-roll, throw the teammate. Unfortunately, due to the scattering, and it's a horrible scattering, he winds up in an area where he needs a 6 to successfully land because there's 2 tackle zones. And yes, tackle zones regretfully do affect landing on a thrown player. There is some argument and controversy about this one here, because if that was the case, it should affect when you leap. Doesn't affect when you leap, but it does affect apparently when you're landing. And yes, that's a before the NAF committee foot rules argument once again. I just figured I'd better clarify for you, because you're all looking at that die roll going, how'd that fail? He rolled a 4. That, unfortunately, is why. And yes, like I said, it's under dispute again. So here we go. Solid hit here by the Chaos Dwarves. Breathing a sigh of relief. And they're getting back into the action one more time.
I must obey my master.
Well, what you do? Well, here we go. Once again. You're fouling a snotling. And he gets away with a bloody thing too. And it's only a KO. Unfortunately, Constable Williams is still booking the previous ones, and you can see the dwarf here just decides to throw a pass just to prove he can't. Well, there we go, going into the halftime. What a crazy game already. This halftime is brought to you by the new series, Law and Ogre, coming to you next season on the BBPN. And trust me, that ought to be a great show, don't you all think? Alright, well, let's set this one back up here. This time it's the Chorfs starting their interesting, new offensive. Now, This is now going to make life interesting. They've burned the wizard. They've got a wee bit of fame, so that will affect certain kickoff rolls here. And so far, well, they've managed to at least get, you know, a Snotling injury, but they have gotten a key Ogre injury. That might make all the difference. Well, there you go, high kick. That gives all the opportunities here. They can actually get a play underneath. And the Chorfs can, well, quite frankly, get to work. And of course the twat finds a way to drop the ball. Well done.
I got it. I got it. I got it. I ain't got it.
Well, that's classic for you, isn't it? And of course they go right after the Snotling on the front line. And it's a free injury.
You guys suck.
Well, I don't blame him. Why is there a Snotling in the front line in the first place? Here's why. It's because he's been rolling way above his legs, doing massive injuries to the Ogres of all things. And there, unfortunately, well, there's a quick early KO. So now suddenly, well, yeah, now down to Snotlings.
Your face, your ass, what's the difference?
I know that feeling. And now they're still able to. And there, by miracle, is the only break that doesn't happen. Nah, don't worry. I sense a foul in your future there, young lad. And yes, your briskets are burning on that one. Here you go. 2 dice in the Ogres. And is everyone Chekos? Of course that works, but that you do expect because, well, you've got block and he doesn't. Easily picks up the football. And decides to tuck it in here because, well, with the way things are swinging, that's the way he's going to do it.
This town needs an enema.
Well, Sweet Constable Williams, he's had quite enough of that one. Get off his bloody pitch. Alright. Ogres. Well, they've got to recover this one here. And they've been saved by, of all things, an ejection. Not the way they want to be saved. Well, they're trying to do some damage back, finally. Solid Hit fails to break Armor 7. Now, you think Armor 7 is Armor 9 in this game. You know, the way Armor 9's been working. Unfortunately, it seems to be the numbers are flipped up. And there's another bonehead, no surprise at this point. Well, you do the math, it does work out on the average Ogre team. If he has a pretty much full complement, he's going to bonehead once a turn. Brilliantly makes the break tackle. Now you're going to be going, but why is that fail? Going back to the original discussion I just had with you lads earlier, he had to use break tackle on his first roll. Why? Because that's how he succeeded. But you can use it once a turn. That's why he fails the second dodge, because now it's a normal dodge. Education for you there, lads. Pay attention, there's a test later in the end of the year. And there's a Salted Bloodstone, and he's got another one. Oh boy, here we go. It's crunch time. It's definitely crunch time.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
That play, 100% do not blame him. It's the smart play. Especially when you got multi-blow and tackle. And now, well, Chorfs, well, they're going to try and get themselves another Ogre here. He's down, but he's not quite out. But does give the Chorfs lots and lots of options because, well, look at the casualty rate. He's already now swung the game by 3 more players. So he's only facing 8. Not so much of a worry now, is it? And you can see here, interesting maneuver here. Decides to mark up one of the remaining Snotlings. Now it's all going to come down to how the Ogres actually want to deal with this problem. Well, let's start off with a good solid fisting. Because nothing says love than a fisting. Now the Ogres have re-maneuvered themselves here. I think they actually want to take out the Bull Centaur. It's a noble endeavor, isn't it? What's that for? Now really, he's got tackle. Why? Well, you're lucky you get away with that dodge. The Ogre does get up. Makes the break tackle again. See that too? Break tackle, strength 5. Gets the solid hit. And he actually does knock him down for that one. He's fortunate though. It's only a stun. Here comes the foul.
The Emperor does not share your optimistic appraisal of the situation.
And of course that didn't work either. And you can hear the Chorfs actually looking at that one. They're not happy either.
You're gonna die for that. You're gonna die for that.
Yeah, we heard you. And there you go, yet another armor break on the Ogres. This has become quite phenomenal. And when you do actually look at some of those armor breaks, these have all been done here, and you got it. These aren't multi-blow players doing it, the only ones over here. And you don't blame him, because he's going after Snotlings. It's a good use of that player. Meanwhile, down the field here, Ball Centaur trying to get out of the situation. He's actually brought an Ogre back in. You might not think it's a good idea, but when you consider all the guard, it's a rather good one. And here we go. Push me, push you. Now, where's this Ogre going? Again, makes the break tackle, goes back on the screen. Here's an interesting question on you in that break tackle. It pushed me, push you. Why don't you shove your Ogre over here to get a free swing into this guy who doesn't have any skills, not except for wrestle, but good chance you can take him down. And then you advance up and you've got someone on the ball carrier. I agree, it's a blodge, but it does put more pressure in. It's just a thought. Could be completely wrong. Like I said, I'm not this coach and I didn't get as far as this one here. So, that's perfectly possible. How he's really ganging up for the foul this time here. Does that actually work this time? Yes, it does.
Oh, bitch, bitch, bitch.
And Constable Williams, well, he thinks fair is fair. He's got to balance out the injuries on those. Well, here you go. Dwarves have decided here. Enough of that. Amazingly, it's only a stun. Even I'm impressed. And, well, Chorfs have realised this game's not quite... Oh, here we go again. Really? We're going to try this again?
Don't get your panties all in a bunch.
And, yep, he's killed him. Unfortunately.
So what do you want, a medal?
And, well, that's going to be just absolutely brutal. How on earth is he going to recover from that one? You can hear the screams from the Ogre fans on that one. I even cringed myself, but it's what you gotta do. And that's why I don't understand why you didn't move in. That would have stopped that. Continuing on, lads. Continuing on. You gotta remember, this isn't us. We have the luxury of being able to watch this after the fact without all the pressure while the game's going on. And always remember that, lads. If you ever think you could do this one better, fine. You get in there and actually play that with all that pressure. You see how you do. I will respect that the players make what they think is the best decision at the best time. Well, except for Jimmy, flip your fantastic fingers somewhere. He just gets fucking lucky. Anyway, continuing on in this cast here. Chorfs take advantage of that one. And they do, of course, get the successful hit block there. That works out pretty well. And does maneuver over with the ball elsewhere. And yeah, you can see he's continuing this again. And rightfully, Constable Williams, enough, get off his pitch. And he's had enough of that unsportsmanlike conduct. And the Ogres get right back to work again. See, this is making me wonder here. If this was going to be a play slot, why did you buy a wizard? Bribe would have done you a lot more good at this point. But, again, he was probably thinking magic fireball on a group of snotlings. That's not a bad strategy. Anyway, I mean, call that the hammer down protocol if you want to call anything there. Ogres changing their position, well, with what's left of them, and that's a good word for it, they've got to figure out a way to get around this problem. Now, here's the thing, looking at the Ogres. There's only down the 1 Agility 3 player. They definitely want to get this one out. He should be the target focus, or at least put the pressure on. But, of course, how do you do that? Rather tricky, isn't it? Well, here come the Chorfs one more time. Those bull centaurs are dynamite, aren't they, ladies and gentlemen? Solid hit. Down he goes. Decides to screen up this angle here. It's a good choice. And the rest of the Lumbling Dwarfs are going to keep out a long screen, which, considering how much break tackle he's facing, this is a very good idea, lads. Well, it's all or nothing commitment here, possibly. Let's see what they do. Well, here he comes. It's an over the top. And it's a push me, push you. Okay, here's my question. If you go to all this effort, why aren't you advancing in? It narrows where this dwarf can go to assist. He's got a guard. Why not park in? And there you go. Unfortunately, 1 in 9. But I'll say this. The Ogres haven't been rolling many 1 in 9s. They've been overdue for that one. And there you go. Unfortunately, the powder of the dwarves all having sucking tackle. So much that, once again, you die by the 1. That seems to be where these ones are going, isn't it, today? And, well, he's taking care of it, business there. He's going to wait on the sidelines to burn one more turn, just in case. Again, solid punch down, does get away with it. It's a 1 in 9, but it's perfectly fine. He's got a block. That one I won't criticise. There's a good solid hit there. The Maui powered of tackle. And there goes another something for the dirt nap. And amazingly, he's a survivor. That is now the 3rd time this one has only been stunned. And now you can see that here comes the red dice again. Statistically, though, by this point here, well, he sees how this game's going. Does allow him to free the player up. Again, it's the L statistics, 2 and 3. It's going to work. In this case, all he wants is the push. Right. Yes, I'm going to pause this one up again, aren't I? Let's take a look here. This one's got pass. This one's got break tackle. This one's got gone break tackle. This is the guy he's going to have to go for. Sort of limited his options, isn't he? Now we'll see how this one works out. His only guess right now would be maybe charge over the top here. Well, you got to move the snotling out of the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hit on 6 and then break tackle 7 here. But then if you do that, you got to put the other snotlings in. It's a big maybe, isn't it, lads? Well, let's see what he actually comes up with. Now he charges in with that one. Wait a minute. I got a question. Why is he there? What are you doing your bed over here? Again, this is tension, lads. This is playoffs. And the game is this close. And there you are. Live and die by the 1. That's pretty brutal, isn't it? What do you do about that? Now, here you go. Over the top. Now, let's see what the dwarves actually want to do here. It's a solid hit. And he gets that one down. And he injured him.
Don't have time to play with myself.
And now you can see now the horrible positioning, but maybe why I pointed that out. That's your one with pass. You need that one. But I don't think he even thought that was even a possibility. Well, it's happened. And there you go. And now the dwarves get another solid hit. Down he goes. Boy, that's the second armor break without using anything else. And yep, you can see it there. The lad's in. And well, there you go. It's now 2-1. Well, there you go. 2-1. But of course, in true classic faction, it's not over yet. Because this team has proven time and time again they can score in one TD. So let's go back to this one. Turn it around. See what they've got left. You've lost the pass ogre. You're down to 3 ogres. This is just absolutely insane. And he's even apothecaried one, so that shows you just how devastating these punch downs have been against an armor 9. And only with one of those blocks was Monty Blow even involved in the least. It's just all dice rolling. Some days the bear does get you and rips your face off. Let's pause this one up here. He's got the one turn, fine. He's got this guy back here, fine. That's why I'm showing the skills here. There's the superstar, fine. This is a bit of a mix-up, isn't it? Yes, he's putting him in there because he's basically making it that if you go in there, you have to go 1, 2, 3 dodges. Now, here's the fun part. Since it's titchy, it doesn't matter. It's all 2s. But, in case anyone's not paying attention, of course, the tackle will negate the dodge reroll. So that's probably his thinking. However, setting up this way and not stacking the front line makes it very easy for the ogre team to put ogres on the outside, not worry about tackle zones or any negatives, and just out to the ball. However, see how he set up? He tagged up with them, he doesn't need to do that. Well, maybe it's just the attitude of the ogres wanting to pay something back, and I don't blame them for it, do you?
This is Sparta!
Like, do you blame him? I'd be bitter at this point, so maybe it is, or maybe he thinks it's not going to work. And there you go, changing weather, which doesn't do anything. And we're going to get on with it. And it's a beautiful placement of the ball here. Can they actually do it? Well, now he's having to throw a shot here. He doesn't need to actually block. Gets away with it. Snotling comes up. Does get the ball. There's the handoff. And he makes it. Alright, let's pause this one up here. I know you're hating this here. Just to break it down what's actually happened to you here. So, realise he's had to roll a bonehead and 2 other dice already. That he didn't need to do. I hate to sort of put it that simple, but he didn't need to roll those dice. And according to the array, well, that would have been his picking up, handing it off, then activating, and he's got 2 perfect good 3s, which, with his higher agility, he makes the throw, and he makes the landing. But let's see what happens. Breaks away on a tackle. Now here comes the throw teammate. And as you can see, sigh. So where did all that go wrong? Now you saw it there. A 1 followed by a reroll and a 1 makes the landing, and then of course gets another 1. So, could he have pulled it off? Yes, the answer is, it's a maybe. However, double 1s, this would have happened while he was dodging through. That's how it works out. If he'd done all that, so wasn't going to happen, lads. Wasn't going to happen. And there you go. Well, the fans are disappointed, but it is one hell of a good game. In the end, let's give credit where credit's due, because you got to think the Chorfs are looking at who they're facing here going, well, how the hell did we beat him? And they figured out a way. So, got to give kudos to that one. He had to dig in and find a way to actually do it. So there's your final result there. 2-1. Chorfs are going to advance on. Looks like their next opponent's going to be a bit of a surprise. And as for the Ogres, well, as I said, there's always next season. Seems to be a bit of a tradition. They always keep showing up. And it means every season, it just refines that team a wee bit better. So, bless you, lads. Thank you for a good, entertaining game. And Nuffle, bless your dice.